Hello, today I have a message called Deeply into the Story, beginning with, there is a level upon which you cannot affect each other negatively. So just going into that, there's always this level, and really it's the reality. And on top of that, I have layered illusion, which can be the positive and the negative and competition or in opposition to each other. But really, when I sink down into our foundation, or when I rise above the entire oppositional story going on, either one, your true foundation or you're above the battleground, it's the same thing. When we're in reality, this is the level upon which we cannot affect each other negatively. The truth of us is that we cannot do this. We can seem to, because I'm trying to figure out how to say this, because we're in this world of thought, the world we made with thought, and we're partially insane. When I'm affixed to, attached to my insane thoughts, I can encourage you to also be attached to those and operating with those thoughts as if they're real and making real things. So I can kind of encourage, because I see you're my mirror, right? We're one. We're not actually separate. And I see my mirror in you. If I look deep enough, I see the mirror of the pure light I am. If I'm looking superficially, I see the mirror of the oppositional chaos I made with ego thought. So, there are two mirrors to be seen. And if I'm in my right mind, I can, how does it seem to me now? Attract you to light up for you the sane thoughts that are in your mind that guide you through and out of the illusion we're making, because what I'm doing is what you're doing. There's a mirror, right? So if I'm attached to the chaos, I see you attached to the chaos. If I'm in my right mind, I see what you truly are. Okay. So there's a level upon which you cannot affect each other negatively. And when I find myself focused on what seems to be the negative of this world, if I could step back and remember we never separated and we never truly gave ourselves the ability to affect another negatively. I may be seeing it, experiencing it, but if I step back into the reality of truly we can only offer each other blessing. That's the real thing. And then I rest there, and then I trust this crazy illusion I made. Holy Spirit offers us a substitute illusion which we can accept, and that's kind of like our conveyance. We kind of travel through and out of the illusion of strife we made using Holy Spirit's substitute illusion. It's like we have to learn to relax into and connect up to Holy Spirit's conduit for us to be carried through and out of the illusion we made with ego thought. That which releases you is within everyone and everything. So we're very safe that way. It's like the release lever, the release out of our madness, is safe and present within everyone and everything, no matter what its surface. And so what I'm learning to do is to focus on this release lever that's present within everyone and everything, and to just know it's there and take advantage of it. Always choose release. No matter what I'm looking at, the release lever's in it, so I can always choose release out of the madness I have made. I can always choose when I'm looking at anyone or anything, no matter what it is. I can always make the choice to be carried through and out of whatever sight and experience of madness we've made and recognize that the release is in you. It is you. It's what's most real about you. And it's the same for everything or anyone else I look at. That's the real part of you. That's the real part of everything. The stability is the real part. The pure and loving guiding. That's the real part. So we're training to look through the madness we projected, the fear clouds we see on top of everyone and everything, into the shining stability that's always there beyond whatever surface we made by believing ego thought, and to rely entirely on that stability, on that shining, on what provides a substitute illusion, not an illusion ego is making, but an illusion Holy Spirit's offering as a conduit, a ship, a sleigh, a something to carry us through and out of the illusion of madness we made. Where you think you need a big defense is where you are trying hardest to hide God. And our feelings will not lie to us. Where our feelings feel intense, think of a cringe. A cringe can feel big and powerful, right? Where you think you need a big defense is where you are trying hardest to hide God. Well, God is in everyone and God is in everything. And if we think of God as what's real, if you're allergic to the word God, what's real is in everyone. What's real is in everything. It's the same real thing. It's the same stable thing. It's the same thing to rely upon in everyone and everything. And we're used to selecting surfaces and judging separate things by their surfaces and saying, therefore I can trust you and I can't trust you. You're beautiful and you're ugly. You're stable and you're unstable. But that's been the lie. The truth is that the same sanity is shining behind every surface I've made, every surface of opposites I've made by believing ego thought. The same sanity is shining behind all of it. And where I become aware of an uncomfortable feeling of any kind, that's me. In my habit, I have a habit. And my habit is to try to hide God, to try to hide what's real, and to place my attention instead on the illusions ego's giving me. I could think of ego as a little machine I invented that churns out oppositional, positive, and negative thought, and therefore the experience of oppositional, positive, and negative illusion. This is a little machine I made. It's not real. I could say it's a little machine I imagined. And I've been attached to this, and I've been experiencing on the basis of this, and I've been treating everything, every illusion this machine generates, all the oppositional illusions, as real. And my habit is using illusions. I can think of them as stickers, putting a sticker over reality, putting a sticker over God. This has been my habit, and now this is the habit I can drop. I don't need the stickers. We're still going to have stickers. We're still going to have illusions. But now, Holy Spirit, what we are together, offers us the substitute set of stickers or the substitute illusions. Okay, we're not just blinded by the light and that's it. We're carried through and out of our illusion, using illusions that Holy Spirit is giving all of us. So where my habit has been to try very hard to hide reality, to hide what's real and joined and one, now it can be to accept the substitute illusion that I'm being given, and that's here for me in every moment. And if I don't like the illusion I'm experiencing, it's okay, because I'll have a feeling that tells me you're trying very hard to hide God, or to hide what's real here, or to hide the shining. And so that's where I train. We learn to relax out of this trying to hide what's real, and subside into the willingness to have the substitute illusion be given to us. Not my will, but thy will. That's everyone's will, everyone's joined will, because there truly is only one will. But we've imagined wills, separate wills, in competition. No one can steal anything from you, but you can give abundantly of what you are. So that becomes our job, to remember what it is we are. Reality, God, the light, and to be willing to see that goodness without opposite behind or shining through any sticker we would put on top of it, whether that sticker seems to be positive or negative. It doesn't matter. What matters is what is shining behind it eternally. Something just came to mind. What was it? It was an idea. I'm going to pause for a minute to think of it. Yeah, I forgot what it was. If it comes back, I will tell you. Okay. No one can steal anything from you, but you can give abundantly of what you are. And our feeling will tell us. Wherever we think loss is possible, loss happens from one separate one, and then another separate one seems to gain. That seems to be very real. And all of that perception and experience is built by the thoughts from ego that we believed, and then that led to experiences, believing we're bodies, believing we're separate, believing we die, believing there's loss, and experiencing those things. But in the midst of giving ourselves this experience, using ego thought, we begin to remember we're not a lack. We cannot lose. We are abundant. We are shared, one shared thing. We're joined. And this thing, for lack of a better word, what we are, it extends forever. It's forever abundant. It expands forever. It's just us. It's just what we are. It's very, very simple. So as we begin to remember what we are, which is not a body, not a personality, not a past, it's prior to and beyond the limits of time and space. The limits of time and space, as we've perceived and imagined them, have given us this experience of opposites, and the possibility of loss, of death, of an ending, of a limit. We've used that to experience limits. But now that we are remembering what we are, we give that abundantly, meaning we're willing to see that expansive nature as, no matter what we're seeing on any surface, as the true nature of everyone and everything, and we share that nature. We're joined. We have the same expansive, peaceful, beautiful nature. So no matter what seems to be happening, we can always stop to tune in at this level of expansive, beautiful, peaceful, joyful nature. There is our true state of being, what's always here, what's eternal. It's always here for all of us. And we learn to tune into it. One way people learn to tune into it is through meditation. But it's important to remember who we are. That's one way of tuning into who we are. And as we accept this and learn how to rest in this, then why wouldn't we experience our true state of peace, joy, abundance, extension in an interaction with anyone or anything? Why wouldn't we experience our true nature or see the reflection of our true nature in an interaction with anyone or anything. But as we seem to move about our world, we can become aware of defenses and assumptions and expectations that are in alignment with what we've become used to, which is limit and opposition. Limit, opposition, defense, attack. That's what we imagined, and we might seem to keep bumping into that as we move through the world. But that's what we ourselves, we have to take responsibility, made up. It's only a surface, it's only a sticker. A sticker we put on God, a sticker we put on what's real. The sticker is not the important thing. It doesn't have any power over us. Our true power is right here, and it's shared, and it's expansive, and it's loving, and it's peaceful, and it's joyful. That's our state of being. Ego gives us emotions that are opposite. And so ego gives us highs that can seem very beautiful. And sometimes a spiritual experience can get entangled in this too. Highs that are very beautiful and temporary, and then they crash down into lows. Both are ego. The oppositional, temporary highs and lows, bouncing back and forth. It may seem you have many more highs than lows. It may seem you have many more lows than highs. It doesn't really matter. It's the same set of stickers that covers up the one state of being we all share, the peace we all share, the light we all share forever. And so we notice usually in the negative end of the stick when we're experiencing an ego feeling that's not the same as accessing and learning to rest in and learning to recognize the actual state of being. So there's a state of being we all share. All beings are peaceful. All beings are joyful. But we've covered up the beings with person stickers. And so the person stickers could have any opposite attributes that have come from ego's inventions. It's like our action figures we've been playing with, our virtual reality game we've been playing in, but we're the beings. And as beings, we don't have, I'm using the word feeling to point to what ego gives us. I'm using the word state of being to point to what's actually here and what's our natural state for all of us. Of course, these are just words and they can't really do the trick, but they can point. So I'm using those words to point. So when I say we don't actually have feelings, we've imagined feelings, but our feelings tell us, and it's a little risky to use the word feeling this way, but it's the best I can find at the moment. When I feel these little stabs of either like you get the bump from the drug, some kind of high, because you think something very satisfying has happened, or you get slammed down into the low because you think something very dissatisfying has happened. Entirely different from this, these two will never touch. The state of being doesn't touch the up and down feelings. The state of being's always here, it's always present, and it's always accessible to everyone and everything. And the state of being is peace. That's eternal, that can't change. It expands forever. There's nothing we can do about that. Our state of being, which is joy, that is shared with everyone and everything, and it expands forever. It's ever present. It's not subject to the imagined limits of time and space. There's absolutely nothing we can do about eternal joy. But death we have imagined. Life, there's nothing we can do about life that extends forever. It just is. And it's behind every surface. Abundance, there's absolutely nothing we can do to change abundance. You just can't do anything to affect our true, natural state of being. That is perfectly stable and also perfectly powerful. That's true power. Everyone has true power right now. Now there's this fake power of the ego where it seems like I have it and you don't. And that's part of our play. That's what's happening on stage. But that's not who we are. Who we are isn't what's happening on stage. Can we see what's happening on stage and see the light behind it and recognize the light as real and allow the light to extend and feel a happy reunion with our actual and shared state of being and rest there? Yes, we can do that. And we are under no obligation to judge any of the surfaces or events on the stage, either positively or negatively. It's just what it is. It's just a bunch of stickers we put on top of the light. And we assign them separate meanings and values. And we have these seemingly separate entities interact in opposition with each other. And it was all imagined. It can't ever be real. No matter how hard I try, I cannot make opposition real. I just can't. I can see it, I can experience it. I can believe ego thoughts that lead to seeing and experiencing opposition. But I can't make opposition real. And in the same way, unity, there's absolutely nothing I can do to touch or affect ever-expanding unity. It just is. And the more I become willing to see, it just is. Behind every person's surface is unity. Behind every object surface is unity. And I can get busy judging persons and objects and events, characteristics in opposition and comparison, or I can rest. So my work is to learn to rest more and more in what's shining behind the play of opposition. I kind of set loose to play out in front of me. At the same time, though, here's Holy Spirit. And Holy Spirit says it's okay that you imagine a play of opposition. And here you go. Here's the script for the unity play that's going to be, it's going to show you dwindling opposition and reunification and carrying you through and out of the nightmare you made into a soft, gentle, loving dream. So we get on that conveyance that the Holy Spirit gives us, and we agree to be carried through and out of the illusion on a substitute illusion at first. It's still fiction. It's still fiction, but it's fiction given to us by the wholeness of us to bring us fully back into the sanity that we are together. We're all sanity together. I can't have sanity separate from you. Sanity is a shared quality. In the illusion and the nightmare, sanity is something that one can have and another can lack. But that's not the truth of us. Okay, it is safe to allow spirit to go more deeply into the story. So that's what I'm learning. Just if I have an ego feeling, up and down, and I can bump into the story. I'm actively making, generating, encouraging, still depending on, and it's a story of strife. I can tell by how I feel. I'm actually feeding like a false nutrition on a story of strife. It's weird to see it like, oh, I've been getting stimulated by the story of strife. I've been using it as nutrition. And how do I know? By how I feel. And now I can sing into what we all are together, or I can see it behind the surface of everything. I can just rest there, like there's the insanity of all the opposition playing out in front of me, whereas there's the sanity right behind it, because the insanity is just stickers I've put on top of the light. There's the light right behind it, that we all are together. And whenever I noticing feeling is so important because it's noticing where I'm attached to false nutrition. And we'll just go with the negative feelings because that's fine. The ego's false positives soon crash into the negatives. So, yeah, we don't have to worry about the false positives. Just whenever I feel any sort of discomfort, stress, tension, negativity, which is often, at that point, it's safe to allow Spirit to go more deeply into the story, to give the story over to Spirit, to say, Spirit, you provide whatever is left of this story. I can feel how it feels to try to generate it myself in my own private world of opposition. And I'm learning now to subside out of that and to allow Spirit. Okay, this is your story now, Spirit. And I trust and I know we're carried and cared for and loved. And I give you whatever's left of this story. And that means I don't have to micromanage the story. I can just trust and be aware and follow. If there's something for me to say, I'll know about it. If there's something for me to do, I'll know about it and I can follow. My job is following the whole of us now. Not trying to ally myself with one part of the dream of opposition and set myself against another part of the dream of opposition. It's to recognize my unity with everything and allow Spirit to be in charge of the remainder of the story. And to know I don't know anything about the chaotic details of the story. I don't know. But it's okay because I can be shown there's a leader here. And the leader is what we all are together. The leader is our shared power. The provider of the substitute illusion is the sanity that all of us share in our right mind. So I can trust that and I can follow that. And I can see that everyone I would call else is provided with the same conduit into relaxing into what we are, into following any directive that the goodness without opposite that we are would provide for all of us. So there's this really big, gigantic trust to be sinking into and following, and that's what's real. That's what's real, and it's here for all of us. So there you go. There's the good news report, and hoping you're doing well, and happy healing.